Good day, everyone. I know I'm just a little bit late. I was in the middle of a conversation with my wife. She's out of town for the weekend, and we had some information we needed to exchange, so I ended up having to be just a little bit late. Everybody's just fine, though. Everything's okay. Something I want to bring up while I'm finishing my flip inserts here. I'm running just a little bit late. But something I want to bring up is I received an email from a person today who was unhappy with the product that I had sent to them. Now, for whatever reason, one reason or another, it doesn't make any difference to me. If you're not happy with what I send to you, you need to let me know. I can't know unless I know, unless you tell me. I can't do anything about it. So that's my little speech. If you guys buy anything from me and I send it to you and you don't like what I sent to you, you let me know. We'll take care of it. I am definitely a very honest person, honest to a fault, and I will do whatever I can to make sure that our business transactions are fair. So, with that having been said, hello Eric Beyer, Farm Dog, Techstar, Joe McBride, Hawkeye, Jeremy Johnson. Got a bunch of people in here this morning, I guess. 13 total right now. We got 9 likes. Go ahead and pound that like button for me if you haven't done it already. And I am going to finish stuffing my inserts. I need about another minute and a half to stuff inserts. If you want to refresh or go get yourself a glass of iced tea or something while you wait. It'll be just a couple of minutes before I get started. But I should catch up with time. 1961. This is a year that the Philadelphia Mint didn't do a whole lot of messing up when it came to their business strike dies. Now, it's kind of unusual because, well, while there's not very many not very many double dies known for 1961 D, there's a lot of RPMs, which means that somebody wasn't paying full attention. And there's a lot of double dies known for the 1961 proof sense, but for the 1961 business strike sense, there's not as much known. But when you do find something for the 1961 business strike coins, it's usually pretty nice. I'm probably going to get to point out a master die, double die for you, because they're on well over half of all of the 1961 cents struck. So, should be able to show you a master die double. Hello, Randy. And so as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to get started. We're just about there. I do have my name chips done. I do have everything else together. It's just a matter of getting these darn flip inserts stuffed. Because if I don't stuff them ahead of time, everything just becomes difficult. And I'd rather it not be difficult. We're here to have fun. We're here to see if we can find something. Here to maybe even learn something. I don't know. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask me with regard to the coins that we're doing today or anything with regard to Lincoln Cents in general, you just ask and I'll try to, as visually as possible, explain the answer to whatever questions you might have. And I will apologize in advance for my wonderful pooch. He is right behind me snoring, so if you hear him snoring, then that's what that is. There's my flip inserts all done. All good, all done. Let me get coins from last night. Man, that roll last night was superb. What do you think, huh? I like running into rolls like that. Alright, let me get my keyboard out of the way. Get myself ready for a reveal. And here we go. Let's see, where did I put the roll? Roll's right here. 1961 Philadelphia, Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio. Right there. Nice original roll. I'm going to go ahead and get my tool and start prying it open. So here's how my dog reminds me that he's out of water. So once in a while, what he'll do is he'll go 2 or 3 days without drinking, have water sitting in front of him, and then he'll go drink all of it. I mean, down to licking the bowl. And then he just kind of walks away. And he comes back a few hours later wanting water again. Of course, there's none in there because, well, I haven't seen that he drank all of it. So he sits at the door of my office and growls at me. And I'm wondering, okay, well, what are you growling about? Do you need to go outside? No. Well, do you need some food? I mean, what do you want? And I go in there and I look. He kind of looks inside the bathroom. So I go in there and I look, and this bowl's empty. And that's how he tells me, hey, I want more water. Oh, yeah, it's a 1942 D-roll that we did last night. It was beautiful. Had close to 20 RPMs in it. They were all one single RPM, but they were nice. Or mostly one single RPM. Okay, here we go. We got number 169 ready to go. This is a 1961 Philadelphia roll. I got 50 names in my bag. I've got all my flip inserts done. I've got my coins out and ready to go. We're ready to start drawing names and pulling out coins. Let's do this. Adam Connor. Adam Connor will take the first coin in the roll. Let's take a look at the first coin in the roll. This one's got some nice toning on it. This is the end roll coin. Some really nice toning. Pretty colors. Look and see if I can see anything doubled on here. We're obviously not looking for any double dies. We're obviously not looking for any RPMs because there's no mint marks, but we are looking for double dies. So this side's nice and bright red. And I'm looking here for even minor double dies will show up, and I'll be able to find them for you. I'm not seeing anything on this coin, not yet. So that's Adam Connor. Got himself a nice toner at the end of the roll. That's coin number 1. And put his name in there with him. Move on to coin number 2. And coin number 2 will go to... Deanne. Miss Deanne, this is your coin right here. Get that focus back in just a little bit. Now let's talk about the master die doubling for 1961. It's rather common. Of course, it's not going to show up on this coin because I spoke of it. It generally shows at the top of the word God. Not seeing anything there. It looks like a little bit of extra thickness, but I'm not really seeing anything that points out, hey, I'm a double die, you need to pull me out. So they just keep going. Let's see if the next coin shows that master die doubling I was talking about. We'll find out soon enough. Yeah, 61 Philadelphia is kind of an easy one to stick off to the side because you just don't think about the things that it does provide. Given that most of them are rather minor, but the thing is, they're also quite scarce because, well, just not nearly enough people look through them to find them. That was bothering me. Had to do something about it. Here we go. Sissy Atwell. A nice early dice date. These are really nice coins to look for varieties on because, well, it's a mid dice date, but it's a very nice earlier looking coin to be searching for die varieties. I haven't seen the master die doubling yet. Maybe we have a roll that doesn't have it. But the master die doubling shows up as hub doubling on the top of the G-O-D of God, especially on the O. It shows up on almost half of all 1961 Lincoln cents. And it is to be dismissed. It is not a double die. It is a doubled master die. If you guys know anything about the die making process, or if you don't anyway, I'll teach you now. So the master die is a thing that's created from a master hub, and the master hub is created from the original engraving. So they take the original engraving, they put it on a pantograph type machine called a Hanveer lathe, and they reduce the size of the 8-10-inch design that was engraved down to coin size. And they do that. I'm checking this for a double die here real quick. It does look like it could be a double die. I think it is. Let's zoom in on these letters and take a look. I'll get back on that other conversation right after we get done with this. After these messages, we'll be right back. Trying to get everything just right to be able to look through this. Here we go. I see doubling up there on the top of the T. I see doubling on the bottom of the Y. Bottom of the Y. The top of the T. Bottom of the R. That whole side of the R is doubled, as is the inside. Yep, this is a double die. There's the E doubled. The B is doubled. The I is doubled. The B and the I is where I noticed it best. And the L is doubled as well. So let's see if there's anything going on with the date. Okay, the 9 and the 6 are both doubled. A little doubling down there and a little doubling over there. So we do have a double die. See, I told you we could find them. It's a minor one, but it's there. Let's look up in the letters. Oh, looky there. N, G, O, on the D, there it is on the W, the E, T, R, U, not so much on the S, and the T's been mushed, so it's hard to tell. But we have it on almost all of the outer devices of this coin, especially in God. It's beautiful. Really nice looking double die there. So let's hold this baby out and see what it produces and see if there's others out there like it. This one's for Dynamak. Let me get the focus back out on the non-zoom focus. There we go. Let me turn the light back down so I can see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you can see it pretty nicely. Okay, let's remember this die. We've got 2 heavy die scratches between the bottom of the 1 and 9. That should be enough for us. One heavy one coming out of the chin. So there's that. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick and be sure that we're not skipping over anything on the reverse. That's one of those things that you have to do, folks. Don't forget to look at the other side of the coin. There are double die obverse, double die reverse combinations in U.S. coins. It is possible. It does happen. And we need to work on trying to catch it. Okay, I had to take a second look at that because of the reflections. But the reverse on this is nothing, but the obverse is a pretty nice looking little double die obverse. So we're going to put this back into holder number 4 for Dynamak. Dynamak gets herself a double die. Okay, back to the conversation. So the conversation was about how they make the dies, or how they end up making hub double dies or master dies. And so they reduce the master hub to the master die using the lathe. And then that master die makes a number of working hubs. Working hubs are created so that they can be a positive relief tool that they use to create dies. Now the master hub, if you look at it, is in proper orientation, and it looks like a steel coin on a bar, basically. They use that to make the working dies, and the working dies are the individual dies that make the coins. So if you put doubling on a master die, all of the working hubs it makes is going to reflect that doubling. If you do doubling on a working hub, then all of the working dies it creates are going to have the same doubling, and so forth. So anytime you do doubling at a level above the die, then you're going to have multiple dies with the same issue. Given that, it is somewhat common to have minor doubling on a, I think this is one of them. Not one of the doubled dies, but one of the master die doubles. Let's see, let me get a good look at it. Nope, I don't see it. The last coin had it, but it was also a double dice, which made it really difficult to pick out. But anyhow, if you do that form of doubling on the master die, then you're going to see it on all of the working hubs and all of the working dies created from that master die. So it's going to be extremely common. Yes, it's hub doubling. Yes, it's doubled in the same fashion as any doubled die. But because it's extremely common, they don't bring any premium value. Now, one such example is 1972 Lincoln cents. In 1972 Lincoln cents, about half of them have what appear to be a recut N, the word in for In God We Trust. If you have that recut N, you can look at some other details around on different parts of the obverse and find doubling on other letters, like the top of the B of Liberty or the U of Trust, or on the inside hook of the 2 of the date. But none of that is actually a doubled die. They're all doubled master die, which transferred to the working hubs, which transferred to the working dies, which transferred to all the coins created by that die. Good morning, Bill Cresson. So if you know your working or your working hub doubles and your master die doubles, then you'll know to skip over them, because, well, you might collect one of them just as an example, but there's no point in saving all of them because no one's going to pay you any premium value for them, and they are very, very common. No sense in clogging up your collection with really common stuff. Your collection is where your finds belong. It's where your good stuff belongs, not the leftover stuff. Okay, so this one appears to have the same doubling. It does. Has the same doubling as the other coin. So let's check it for die markers. Okay, and the markers are not the same. This die is not the same as the other. So we've got the same doubling on 2 different dies. What does that tell us? Very interesting, right? So let's keep looking. Let's remember this one. Make it die 2. Let's just say, what are we going to use as a good marker? A couple of heavy die scratches above the 6 there. We'll use those. A couple of heavy die scratches above the 6 and some die scratches coming straight out of the bow tie. Okay, so let's hang on to this one. We're going to call this one a die 2. This one also goes to Donna Mac. What do you know? She's going to get a good little collection of our double dies together here, right? And then Randy is next. Randy will be next for coin number 9. Let's take a look at coin number 9, see what we have. It's a different die from any we've seen so far in this roll. So I'll flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Let's see what we can come up with on the reverse here. It's very reflective coins. That's what you're seeing in the tops of the letters around the rim here. You're seeing a very reflective coin showing itself in the reflection of the rim. But if you look at it without reflections, you can see there's also no doubling. You look at it with reflections and it looks like there's doubling. You pull it out of the reflections and it doesn't look like there's any doubling. That's how that works. Good morning, Tim Morrell. Well, it's actually probably afternoon to most of us, but well, no, not really. It's only 1:23 in the afternoon, so it's only afternoon to the Central and Eastern time zone. To the Mountain and Pacific time zone, it's still morning. Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn's going to get this coin. Looks like it's normal on the obverse here. Let's check out the reverse and see what happened on the reverse. Got a normal in there. That's coin number 10. Well, let's move on to coin number 11, Adam Chambers. Adam Chambers. Okay, I'm seeing the doubling again. Let's see if we see it over here. Yep. Not very strong, but I can see it. See it there on the R. Refocus again. You can see it right there on the R. You can see it here on the bottom of the Y, the top of the T. There it is on the B. A little bit on the E, a little bit on the I. You can see it up here on the N, the G, and the O, and the D. So you got the same doubling again. Let's back out and take a look for markers. We've got two different dies so far that are showing the same basic appearance of doubling. It's the second one. So this is a die 2. You got your two heavy scratches up off the 6 and a few out of the bow tie. So this is the die 2. Chin hair. Oh yeah, yeah, he has a chin hair. Exactly, that's what we're talking about. Talking about the hair he didn't comb down and sticking straight out. And we've got some wax on this coin too from the paper. Okay, got nothing on that side. So I'm going to take this one out and I'm going to put it in the stack for die number 2. Now let's take a look at next coin, coin number 12. Coin number 12 to Eric Beyer. Eric Beyer's coin looks just like this. Ooh, we've got some wax on this one. Is that a... No, it's a little thing laying on the... Wow. We've got a number of little spots of wax and whatnot on here. This is not one of the coins with doubling. Eric, you're busting my story, buddy. But you are right. You are correct. My point in this exercise was that we were going to find 3, 4, 5 different double dies in this roll. And then I was going to teach you toward the end that if you get finding a bunch of relatively minor double dies that have different markers yet the same doubling all in a single roll, you're probably looking at master die doubling, and that's what that was. That's what you're looking at on those two dies that we have found so far. They have identical doubling on them, but they have very different markers. Tells you for sure they're two different dies. And you get to looking a little bit closer at them, you realize that the doubling is the same between them. But you can't find one marker that matches. A lot of people have gone through the trouble of trying to attribute stuff like that, and then they realize later this may be the master die doubling. But then you've got other people who have a little bit of intuition about this sort of thing. This one's for Randy. So when you dig in, you find what you think is really cool looking hub doubling, like this right here. You get up here and you're seeing doubling up here too. And it's like, wow, this is a nice double die. I like this. And then you realize that, you know, see, this is the first die. This is die 1. Maybe. Maybe not. I think this is a third die with the same doubling. And here's your doubling right up here. You can see it on the Wii. You can see it on God especially. This doubling right here has been found on so many different dies. It's been realized that this doubling existed before the die was made. This doubling was actually in the hub. So this is a case of master die doubling. It has no premium value, although it is kind of neat to look at. It is real hub doubling, but it is not on the die itself. The die itself received a doubled design, if that helps you understand the process. So that's what these are. They are just regular coins for 1961, unfortunately, but they do show real hub doubling. So that's my point, folks. So I'm not going to hold these out anymore because we know that they're just master die doubling. They're cute, but they're not valuable. Alright, so I got all the coins back in the stack. Oh, you want to see the reverse? I'm sorry. I didn't put the reverse up there. Did I put the reverse? I guess I didn't. Oh, no, I couldn't have. Alright, here we go. Randy's going to keep me straight, that's for sure. Keep me marching the straight and narrow. That's reflection. And nothing. Sorry. But you did get a good example of the master die doubling, so that you can hold it out and know what it looks like. Jeff Dunn, coin number 15. Coin number 15 goes to Jeff Dunn. Now I can go a little bit faster and just look for actual hub doubling. There's another master die doubled coin right there. You see the doubling on the top of the GOD. You can see it in different places in Liberty. Sometimes it's a little stronger and sometimes it's a little weaker, depending on the condition of the coin, the die state of the die itself, and the state of the hub that made the die. Because your hubs do actually have wear too. Not much. I mean, you only make a few dozen dies with each hub. And dies, well, they make tens to hundreds of thousands of coins. I have seen a couple of examples where the hub was damaged, and you can tell because you get multiple dies that have the same gouge or other anomaly on it. There's coin number 16 for Tim Moreau. So there's your lesson in living color of master die doubling, what it looks like, how to figure it out. Randy, on 1969S, there are no cases of master die doubling known, which probably means there aren't any because a lot of coins have been studied. What you have likely got, I want to see that obverse one more time. What you have likely got is just machine doubling, and machine doubling is so widely repeated in 1969S, it can fool you into thinking that you may have some form of master die doubling, but you don't. The tripled part is just because the die bounced twice on the coin, not once. So you get tripling. But the kind of doubling that you're looking at on those is machine doubling. There's another one. See, I was going to have fun with you. This is the first die that we found anyway. So it's a repeat of the first die. Now you can use that as part of your markers. Yep, that's right. You find yourself a 1961 DRPM and it has that doubling in the word God. You know that's the master die doubling. That's coin number 17 for Don Harmon. Now we go to coin number 18. Coin number 18 goes to Hawkeye. I love the idea of finding double dies in these rolls, but sometimes you just don't hit a roll that has the double dies. Yeah, you can send a photo to cd@coppercoins.com. I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know. Now, trust me, when you send emails to me asking a question, I'm likely to just answer the question in as short and succinct way as I can, because I get a couple hundred emails a week for questions, answers to questions, and I have a very, very busy schedule besides that. But I will give you a good answer when you send me an email looking for something. And if the answer is not good enough, just send me a message back saying, what did you mean by that? Or could you explain that in different words? And I will. I'm never mad about doing what I do for a living. So if you guys send me messages, I will tell you when your messages are overloading me and I don't have time to answer them. But don't take it personally, because I've done that to many, many people. They get excited asking questions and they start asking more and more questions. And when you start deterring me from being able to do the job that I have to do on a regular basis, keeping my inventory together and getting it shipped out to people, I'll let you know. Yeah, 1961 it's just one that a lot of people don't search on a regular basis because they keep running into that machine doubling or that master die doubling, and they think they've got something, then they find out they don't. And there are actually a few double dies for 1961 that are worth looking for, but they're kind of short in number and very scattered. So you don't expect to find one in every roll, or heck, even every box. And that's why, like Eric says, a lot of people just tend to skip by 1961 Philly. Because there's just not that much known. You got the master die doubling, and that's about it. Oop, there goes Joe McBride. Excuse me while I kiss this guy. Had to get more go juice in me. Randy, coin number 21. A blackjack coin. Let's see what it provides. A little bit of wax for you. Can use it to polish your shoes. Oh, you don't polish shoes? A nice example of the master die doubling here. Nice, nice. Got that going for sure. And on the reverse, got nothing there. Now for coin number 22. Coin number 22 goes to Don Harmon. Mr. Harmon, let's take a look at your coin. Another master die double coin. See, it was gonna get hairy. This one's a different die altogether. We're going to end up pulling half the roll But we wouldn't be able to distinguish between the different dies for doubling because the doubling is exactly the same on all of the dies. Then we have to consider for a moment that I have all these different listings that all show doubling that are extremely similar. Maybe we're looking at master die doubling. And one for Dan. Coin number 23 for DN. Another one. Another one bites the dust. This is the first die we pulled. Take a look at the reverse real quick. No error stuff. We got a little tiny struck through I thought I saw right there. But not much of anything that has premium value. And this one's for DN. Next coin, number 24, will go to Yo Man. Yo Man. Nothing there, unfortunately. Next will be DN. Not one of the master die double. Not a double die. Nothing on the eye, nothing on the ear. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto. Looking at the reverse of the coin. Appears that we have nothing. That's coin number 25. We had a really great night last night, and here we go capping it off with a normal roll. You guys know how I don't like that. Here's Joe McBride, coin number 26. Another one of the master die double coins. Let's take a look at the reverse. Sounds good, Randy. I'll probably look at it right after I shut down the broadcast. Go ahead and get you an answer. A Saturday roll marathon? I might do that more in the future. I don't know. We're actually looking at... See, we've lived here since September of last year, since the beginning of September. It was Labor Day weekend when we moved here. And the two of us have not had a weekend to just go since we moved here. Not good for you. We need to take some time off. We're going to end up having to take some time off at some point and just go. I know I'm going to put you through a week of withdrawals, but it is what it is, folks. We all take vacation when we can. And of course, when you do what you love and you're at your work and it's not really work to you, you kind of get lost in translation. That, well, I enjoy this, so how could I possibly call this work? This isn't work. But you only live so many years. You got to get your living done. Kind of like in the voice of my favorite voice guy. Well, you got two choices. You can either get busy living or you can get busy dying. You pick. Anybody knew what actor is that quote attributed to? And for bonus points, what movie? What actor and what movie? So, well, I look at it this way. You got two choices. You can either get busy living or you can get busy dying. You pick. Which one will it be? It was my favorite voice combined with my favorite actor. You just noticed that? Yes, 1961 is the last year that you can take the font on a Lincoln cent and flip it upside down, and it still reads the same until the year 6009. That's right. So last time until 6009 that you're going to be able to take the date. Just like that, read it, and then flip it upside down and read it, and it looks the same. There's a little bit of trivia to carry back to your family table for the evening dinner. Have everybody stare at you like you've got three eyes. Not Clint Eastwood. Sorry, John. Not Clint Eastwood. Much more modern. Well, Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption is not the correct answer. Played by Tim Robbins, that's correct, but that's not... No. Not Pale Riders either. That's a struck through right there. Nice little struck through stuck in the bay of the memorial building. You guys are all around it. You're dancing all around it, but you're not going to hit it until you think differently. Yeah, think about who's my favorite actor. My favorite actor of all times. Let me know when you need a hint. Chuck Patillo calls himself Chuck number 2. I think he's kind of funny about that. Chuck 2 to Chuck 1. WTH, over. There's a gentleman who plays in Shawshank Redemption who does very well as a narrator because he has one heck of a voice. Oh, that's the person who made that statement. The movie was The Bucket List. So who's my favorite actor of all times? It would be the person who starred with Morgan Freeman in The Bucket List. I'll give you a hint. All work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. Nope, not Shawshank Redemption. That's right. He said it in The Bucket List because Jack Nicholson's character was dying of cancer. And they talked about their bucket list. You need to get your bucket list filled. Well, Jack Nicholson's character didn't really like that idea very much at first. And so that's when he got the speech. You can either get busy living or you can get busy dying. Another one of the Master Die doubled coins. I like the idea of living. Especially where it comes to this mutt curled up next to me, gassing the room so I'll leave. He doesn't know that I've got a stronger nose than he thinks. I can smell it, and it doesn't bother me. Oh yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nurse Ratched. Yeah, I liked him in that movie too. I think he's probably near retirement because I haven't seen anything from him in a few years now. Man, this is a nice coin. Really bright. Let me take a look at this thing. Oh, it definitely is. Definitely. This is a full gem. Really nice coin. Okay, now I look at the back and it's not quite so nice, but the front of this coin is a really beautiful gem. Little peeled piece of lamination there. Folded up over the rim and struck into the rim there. Here's Johnny. Heard a rumor he has dementia. It wouldn't surprise me much, but man, that's going to be a sad day when he passes. I tell you what, Jack Nicholson's done a lot in my lifetime, for my humor anyway. It's like I've only been really ill-affected by an actor's death just a few times in my life. And it's not that I'm callous and insensitive, it's just that I don't really know the people. I know their characters and that's about it. But the actors who have really affected my day heavily when I heard they passed, George Burns was one of them. I was cheering the guy on to live to 150 because he was over 100 when he died. And then Lucille Ball. I don't know why, but when she passed, I mean, you could see it coming for years. I mean, she smoked like a chimney. She sounded like it, too. He might have been 99. No, I thought he was over 100. Then another one that very oddly hit me. I guess it's because of he was always a very cheery looking guy, and when he died, it was kind of unexpected because he wasn't old, he wasn't sick. And that was John Denver. It's a very nice looking, nice looking guy. Not in a cute sense. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like he was a very gentleman-like. And his music was actually soothing. It wasn't highly popular to some people, but it was very soothing. And when he passed on, it was like, wow, that was unexpected. I didn't like losing Katharine Hepburn either. Oh, he wanted to perform on his 100th birthday and he didn't make it? Okay. Well, it shows me I didn't remember, but I remember when he died. I remember his Oh God movies. I really liked that. He was just a funny guy. Not very many guys I think are as interestingly funny as George Burns. In a very kind of odd way, I sort of like Jackie Gleason too. But he was one of the, and not really bad guys, but he was one of the guys that you didn't really like in the movies. Like in Smokey and the Bandit. Of course, he was the Smokey, and he was chasing the bandit around, so you kind of hoped he wouldn't get his bag. You didn't want to make his day. Junior, there ain't no way you come from my loins. Remind me when we get home, I need to slap your mother. A 100 years and 2 months. Maybe he just didn't. He couldn't do the show. But I thought he was 100 years old when he died. I think Betty White's going to be a big one too. Even though she doesn't really do much in the entertainment industry now, she had for years and years. I mean, she's been around for a long time. I know she's over 90. I don't know how old she is though. She's got to be getting close to 100. Heck, she was old when they did the Golden Girls in the late 80s. Older than sliced bread. I would not at all challenge that. There's another one of a die that we've already seen. I'm looking down next to the one there where we have that little bit of a clash mark. That's what I'm looking at to determine that I've already seen this die. 98. So we got to keep her pumped up for another couple of years. Make her 100 years old so we can celebrate her 100th birthday. How old is the Queen of England? Queen Elizabeth II. How old is she now? And Prince Philip. Prince Philip's got to be getting up there too, because I think he's older than she is. 200. Here we go. That's right. I know that she surpassed Victoria as the longest seated queen. I'm pretty sure she's close to 95. Is she 94? Okay. Joe McBride gets the next coin in the roll. Here is the next coin in the roll for you. Looks like we're probably going to turn up with a dud roll. It's probably more common than it is to get non-dud rolls. But we have to look, right? If we don't look, we'll never know. If you don't look for the answer, you'll never find it. This is my challenge to you, to get out there and look through a 1961 roll sometime soon. See if you find anything, because there's stuff to be found. It's not big and amazing, but it's stuff to be found anyway. Adam Chambers gets the next coin. It's coin number 43. Let's take a good look at coin number 43 here real quick before I move on to the next one. I was doing a little bit of channel surfing last night, and I happened to have across that show, Storage Wars. So I stopped just because it was an auction type thing, and well, it seems of late I've taken to trying to talk like an auctioneer, so I wanted to listen to the auctioneer real quick. And it wasn't the regular guy who does it. It wasn't that blonde-headed guy who does it. It was some lady, and man, she was excellent. I mean, you couldn't understand anything she said except the numbers, and the numbers were very clear. It was very easy to tell where she was. She was moving along really quickly. She was very commanding of the situation that she was in. Everybody was listening to her. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing. And it was just awesome. It was really, really, really cool. But she was talking faster than I could ever imagine. I don't think I could ever do it that fast. What I do is just about as fast as I think I'm ever going to get. I mean, I do have a little bit of a fast vernacular to begin with. When I want to, I can speak quickly. Especially when I'm angry. Makes it really easy for me to talk quickly when I'm angry. I want to get as many words out as I can before you interrupt me. Here's Deanne for coin number 45. It's one of the master die double coins. Look at that. Wow, that's just cute. You can see all that doubling on there. Doubling on the I, the B, the E, the R, the T, the Y. It's doubling on every one of those letters. Too bad it's master die doubling. The whole thing. But it's really neat looking. I love it. It's one of the nicest master die double dies that you'll find. I can't think of many others. There's one for 1960, but it just shows basically on the E of we. And some people believe there's working hub doubling on 1962 that shows doubling in the date, but I've not found any evidence of that. It appears that all the ones known are actually individual double dies. Then for master die doubling, we skip forward to 1968 for the next one. Next master die doubling is on the bottoms of the letters of God on some S-Mint coins. That's a working hub double. One of those being a master die double, that's a matter of experience. I'm sorry, there's not really any better way to answer that. It really is. Because you'll keep one or two of them, then find out that they're just master die doubling. No big deal. And then you will learn to figure out what the different ones are. Look them up. I'm actually probably on the new Copper Coins website. When we do get it to that point, I'm probably going to make a page all about master die doubling and show you all the different master die doubling examples for the Lincoln Cent series. There's not many of them in the earlier Lincolns, but in the later Lincolns, they tend to show up once in a while. But you got master die doubling in 1960, 1961. There's working hub doubling in 1962. There's master die doubling again in 1968. There was master die doubling in 1972. And that's about it. As for working hub doubling, there could be some in other years. I'm not thinking it through right now to be able to tell you what years they are. Eric Beyer gets coin number 48. Got 3 coins left in the roll, and this is coin number 1 of 3, and this one's going to have the master die doubling because this was one of the dies that I was pulling out in the very beginning. So there's your master die doubling. You can see it there. You can see it there. All the way across to trust. Taking a look around on the obverse and the reverse, and got nothing else on this one, so that's coin number 48 now for Eric Beyer. We're going to move on to coin number 49. Get next to the last coin in the roll out, and who's it going to go to? None other than Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell will get this coin. Little bit spotty. Little tiny bit. Next conversation, we'll talk about zero turn radius mowers and which one to get. That's a joke. Because we're actually just going to talk about the Hemi carburetor system and why it's so much better than others. Here's Hawkeye. Hawkeye for the final coin in the roll, and this one was sitting under the rubber wheel for a while. Kind of burnished the coin a little bit, and it is one of the master die doubles. It does show the doubling in Liberty quite well. But it is unfortunately kind of, I'm going to say sort of polished. A little bit of damage. But it has nice toning on the reverse because this is a side that was sticking out to the world. Beautiful colors. You got a rainbow of a coin there. Must have missed your first one. I don't know. I'll go back there. I'll look. I know you got 3 coins. All right, so there we go. We've got a number of cases of master die doubling in this roll. And it does come from earlier dies, so they are kind of cute. Cute to look at. So I'll go through and find Randy's coins here real quick. Randy, you got coin number 9. Coin number 14. 21. 9, 14, 21. Did you get more than 3? Some people did, I think. Not sure if this is that roll or not. Yeah, you probably missed the first one. Don't have another one for you. So you got those 3. And there we are. It's 2 o'clock. I got another broadcast coming up in 1 hour. Next hour is going to be number 170. It's going to be a 1954 S roll. It should be a very nice roll. You guys come back and we'll take a look at it and see what happens. All right, I appreciate it, folks. Have a great afternoon in case you don't happen to come by. And if I don't see you until the weekend is over, have a great weekend. See you later.